Alrighty, hello everybody. Cup of coffee for the world's greatest grandpa. I'm going to start this with being that nobody's here. For any new people, as I always do, I'm going to start with the prologue. Just for anybody who's just coming here. Prologue for Mr. Bensonhurts. There has always been one constant throughout these 60 years of my life. It has never mattered if I was living large or under an apartment building hallway under the stairs. I have always been me. Now most people would say, what the hell does that mean? Of course you have been you, just as I have been me. Let's take a look, and I'm sure you'll agree that I have always been me. Which, you decide if that's good or bad, doesn't matter, because really, most people don't give a shit. Let's take a look, and I'm sure you'll agree that I've always been me. We take this journey to what I call my life. I am sure that you will either sympathize, empathize, become enraged, particularly at some of my stupidity, or shed a tear and a laugh down this roller coaster that has been ridden through my rotation on this bowl we call Earth. Before we begin, why don't you sit back, take 2 minutes, and reflect on whatever amount of time you accomplished, because every day you survive on this planet is a day to be proud of. My motto, woke up breathing. It's a good day. And that's the prologue. The picture for today is a picture of my dad. Because I'm going to see my dad. Because I'm going to read about my dad a little bit. That's what we're up to in the book. We're up to chapter 19. So I got something from Mother's Day here that I wrote while I was in upstate New York in 1987. Matter of fact, I even put the time and the date. Look at that, 5/7/87, 6:30 p.m. I don't remember writing this, but I will read it in a few minutes when I get a couple people here. Those of you that have been following this story, you'll understand when I wrote this. I don't know if you'll get the state of mind I was in at the time, but you will definitely understand it. So, I got my reading glasses here. I played in that poker tournament last night. Started out with, I think, 1,000 people. I ended up I finished 237, but didn't get a hand for the last 40 minutes. 40 fucking minutes without winning a hand. That's tough. It's tough to hang around when the blinds keep going up. So we're going to be in one tonight again. So I'll be back on tonight. I believe this one is more than the one yesterday. This one pays, I think, 1,500 prizes. 1,500 in prizes. It starts at 9 o'clock, which I like that. I didn't like starting at 11. Even though almost 2 hours into the game, we started out with over 1,000 people, and 800 were almost gone by the time an hour and a half passed. So that's not too bad, 2 hours. And then you figure if it takes 200 to get out to that 2 hours to get down to 200, you have to figure. You can't figure the same with the rest of the way, because people get conservative as you get closer and closer to winning money, which I believe was the top 20 maybe. I think tonight's is the top 80 get paid. But I think like 80 to like 50, you only get like $5, or maybe less. 80 to 60, and the money keeps going up the longer you last. And I think the first prize is either 250 or 500. I'm not sure, but it's not bad. So the site I wouldn't recommend. I would recommend it to people. Club WPT is where I play. On there, if you want to watch, you can go to the thing. I probably will do like I did last night and hook up the screen so that you guys can watch the game as I play, and I'll try to sit behind it so I can read the chat, which is always fun. Somebody showed up. You want to catch up on what I said already, you got to go back and watch the little review, if there is one even up there yet. Basically, I didn't do much yet. I just read the prologue again of the book, Hopefully, whoever you are, you hang around. We got a good couple of chapters today. I'm going to start out talking about my dad. We go 2 chapters with him, and then we go back to, if you look at the description, it'll tell you pretty much where today's readings are going to go. And if you're new, hey, Hot Frank, what's up, buddy? Hope you're doing well today, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I was just explaining to somebody, whoever was here, about what I did so far, which was I read the prologue for any new people coming in, so when they watch it, they can see it again. I posted the picture on the stream today is of my dad. Hey, Muse. Yes, sir, AC/DC. Hell's Bells. Used to be one of my favorite. Thank you, Muse. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate big time. We got some minutes before we start. You guys want to just bullshit? I'm down. Like I was saying, 2 things I'm going to do probably, like I said tonight, is another tournament. This one's going to be, I think, like I said before, I think it's $1,500 cash prize. First prize is either $500 or $250. 9 o'clock it starts, so I'll be back on. I'll do like I did yesterday. I'll put the screen and whatever. Tomorrow I might come on for the Kentucky Derby. Maybe we'll watch it. It was okay, Frank. I finished 237th. We started out with 1,000 people. On this site, you need tournament points in order to play in games. So I picked up 400 tournament points, so I didn't lose anything by playing. But you got to get in the top. You got to finish near the top to get any money, which, like I said before, I usually do. I haven't played in over about a year, but when I was playing all the time, I do well. It costs $33.99 a month to be in this club, and I've never not won at least $33 back. It's never cost me anything to play because I always win at least 1 time, 2 times a month. So far, that could change. Not that difficult to change. Play poker at all, guys? Either one of you? Yeah, it's a little hard. It's distracting but I didn't get a hand for 40 minutes last night. I started out awesome, and then 40 minutes of not one winning hand. I think one hand I would have won that I didn't go in because I had like King 2 or something offsuit. So I've been making money at poker for a long time. It's just you have to have money to make money. Otherwise, I'd be at the casino if I had money. Making money. I used to do it in Atlantic City all the time. I was showing everybody before I wrote something in '87. Being with Mother's Day coming up. I don't know, I just came across this, so I'll probably read it later. Something I wrote to my mother from upstate when I was in the program. I know we don't have a lot of teenagers that come on here, but when you're away from home I was away from home a lot, but never where I was forced to be away, and this time I was forced, so I wrote a lot of letters to my mom, trying to, let her know everything's good. Hey, Frank, did you see, I took the new one you made with the tie, I've got it on TikTok. I posted it like twice on TikTok, twice on Instagram. I posted it on here. Good job, buddy. I mean, I gotta give you credit, dude. You're good at that shit. Really good. So, glad to have you in my corner, pal. Yeah, it's hot. I was thinking of doing this inside today, but as long as I'm not in the sun, I'll be alright. I'm not sure what the temperature is, so don't ask. I could probably look, but I'm a lazy bastard. It's gotta be in the 80s. Mid-80s, maybe. If I had to guess. Not 1,000% sure. I got a question. Maybe you guys can answer me on this. When we do the live, um, usually the views by the time I go to post in public is not much. Maybe sometimes we get 20, sometimes we get 10, sometimes we get 40. But by the next day, no, I don't wear cologne. Never in my life. I smell just great, Muse. I smell like rose farts. Rose-scented farts. I'm a good smelling kind of guy. Hey, Alt, what's up? I don't give long enough lives. I don't get it. What are you saying? I take people's lives away? I'm not that guy, Muse. Oh, long enough streams. I got you. That's right. My Newport. I like the smell of a good grass in the morning. My Cologne. I got Cologne. Keep your fucking Cologne to yourself there. Extra strength? Why? These are fine. I'll tell you what you do, all. Go buy a pack of, out here I got 305s, like the cheap menthols. Take a drag or two of one of those. You'll appreciate Newport 1,000% more. Oh, I can't stand hundreds. Bleh. I don't know, there's just something about them. It just doesn't taste the same. Also, the pull is different. But, more power to you. They last longer. I used to say the same thing, all, that I wouldn't smoke anything else, but, you know, when I run out, about 4 or 5 hours into it, I get to the point where, maybe even 6. By 8, I'll smoke a fucking Marlboro. I don't give a fuck. Have you? A lot of different ones? I've been with these. I mean, I tried different brands. I tried Cool. I tried the Indian Reserve down at the Seminole Casino. They had a menthol. Ugh, terrible. I can't smoke nothing that's non-menthol because it feels like I'm smoking air. Anything that's not menthol just feels like I'm wasting my breath. It's like I don't feel the smoke. Good for you. Yeah, Marlboro menthol isn't bad. It's a different type of menthol that I haven't smoked them in about 10 years, 8 years, but the last time I tried them, it's just a different type of menthol. And I think they changed Newports. They did something to them. They're not the same. I don't know what they did. Maybe they took out some fiberglass. Go away. Maybe they took out some fiberglass or something. I don't know. No, it's not as satisfying. I agree, 1,000%. Virginia Slims. Oh, Muse. Ooh, those are almost as bad as Benson and Hedges. Oh, Muse, I just lost all respect for you. I'm kidding. Those are insane, right, Alter? Tell them. A pencil, yes. Yes. That's what it is. One day I grubbed a cigarette from somebody, and they gave me one of those years ago, and I lit it, and it was a menthol, too. I lit it, took a drag, and they were right there, and I said to them, you know what? No, thank you. I'd rather not have a cigarette. And I gave it back to them. Misty 120s too. Those are terrible. Blech. Virginia Slims are not good. Not in my opinion. But if you enjoy them, hey, more power to you. Listen, I enjoyed Angel Dust for 6.5 years. That doesn't mean it's for everybody. You know what I mean? Red's here? Oh, hey, Red, what up? Alton, not just Alton. I was oblivious you were even here, Red. Wow. Good to see you, bud. Oh, I got to put that back, too. Thank you about the chat. Let me do that. Yeah, I didn't see you, Red. Come on. What's going on here? I got to get to all messages, too. Red's right. Alton's right. Why won't it click? What the? What is going on right now? On my phone here. There it is. I fixed it. All right. All messages. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Red. Yes, dumbass. Dumbass it is. I salute myself. Laughing my head. That's funny shit. It's all good, baby Muse. It's all good. Chicks like a dude. Every time, Red. I don't learn, buddy. I don't learn. You think if I would have learned, I would have made all those mistakes years ago? I don't learn. Well, don't expect too much, Red. You got me too high up there, bud. Lower your expectations. I'm good, Red. You? Every time, baby. Well, Muse, you need to go away from the chat, go take care of it, and you'll be back later. It's all good. Chicks hate my Slim. I'm sure they do. Oh, I'm glad you're here. I want you to make me do a better job, Red. But don't put your expectations too high, my friend. Seems to happen a lot with people around me. Their expectations for me are up here. I think that's why I underachieved all my life. My family always used to tell me how smart I was, and my relatives, and I'm a fucking moron. Wow, that's right, Muse. I forgot. You guys are out in Hawaii. You can talk about whatever you want, Muse. I'm about to start to read, so I'm not going to care in about 3 minutes. You got it, Red. No problem, buddy. Make me a list. Yes, Muse, you're going to rub one out to my voice? I'm not sure how to respond to that, Muse. You got Yes, I was. As a matter of fact, I left it out, but the following year, because there was no story to it, I won the whole thing again. I'm going to have to wing it. There goes them expectations again, fucking Red. There goes them expectations. All right, guys. I'm going to read something. This is more for Hot Frank than anybody else, because I know he'll do something with this. But I'm going to show you again. Being that Mother's Day is coming up, you guys that are here right now all know I went into the program, so we don't have to, I can actually do this right now. While I was in the program, wait for what? You busted a nut? Wait till you come? What do you want me to do, Muse? Fucking guy. Yeah, Frank. Well, anyway, I'm honored, bro. You are the talented one here. No. It's not about Frank. But Frank will take this and make a video from it or something for a mother or somebody, and he'll put it out there for maybe all mothers for Mother's Day. But I want to show you. I wrote this, and it was dated. See the date? 5/7/87. Let's just agree that between us, we can make one good talent. I wrote this to my mother from upstate. I was up there at this point. I went in March 3rd of 86, so I'm there 14 months. I'm almost time to come home. And I wrote, "To you, Mom." And I'm not going to read what I wrote before that. I wrote, "What's up? Everything's pretty good with me." But this was my letter to her for Mother's Day. It was more of a poem, but here we go. I read this. I should have said it's for you, because you hate my fucking poems. It says, to you, Mom, the more and more I think about home, the more I feel all alone. I miss you, Ma. I miss you so. I just can't wait just to say hello. Spend all the time we have missed out on together again where we left off. This time I can show my love forevermore. So as I wait to come back home, so I'll stop feeling so all alone. The love of a mother cannot be denied. I just feel great knowing you're by my side. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I was corny. Very corny. And I'll explain to you why, because I don't think I'm going to do this in the book. The reason being was, now if you know anything, she did love it, yes, Walter. If you know anything about drug programs and the people that end up in them, usually it's because you don't know how to deal with your emotions. I'll make one for mentors if you like. We'll send it to Newport. Maybe they'll give us a contract. So anyway, that's right, Corny Ron up the state. They call me that all the time. So when you go in, you don't feel anger. You don't feel you do feel anger. You don't feel sadness. You don't cry when you're a drug addict. You try to avoid those things. That's the reason you're doing drugs, to avoid feeling. So when you go in the program and all the drugs are gone and these people have you doing one-on-one counseling and group counseling 3 times, 4 times a week, your emotions just normally come out. And by the time I was up there 14 months, I had changed. I had become the total opposite of what I used to be. So, just so you know, that's why everything I wrote up there, and there's a lot more than this, was more corny and about love and communication, because that's what you're learning there. Scuff, baby! The vein is all yours, buddy. Just to give you an update, I went to the doctor's yesterday, and no worries. Charmaine, it's Germaine, not Charmaine. Scuffed, tell him the name of the fucking vein. Come on, Muse, get it right. It's Red. One of you just made that name up. Jermaine the Vein. That's what I call him, Jermaine. When he gets big like this, I tell him, sit the fuck down, Jermaine. No, you know what it's from? You really want to know? It's when I'm not breathing in. Watch. When I breathe normal like this, and my breaths go in and out, he stays down. But once I start talking, because I'm not inhaling, taking any breath in, look, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger the less I breathe. The more I breathe, see me turning red, I'm not breathing, so it gets bigger. Whew. Jermaine, that's right, Scuffed. You tell him. That's my man, Scuffed. Don't be changing the names of things, Muse. We don't go for that shit here. Muse, you're so full of shit, it's amazing. It's all good, though. You can write whatever you want, pal. You're just a liar. You write shit to try to create havoc, but little do you know what goes on behind the scenes. So, nice try, though. Yeah, Scuffed, he's being an idiot. He says the same thing all the time. It's all right, I don't care. Not yet. I didn't get mad. It ain't throbbing, baby. There you go. That's the way we do it, Scuffed. I should have charged him for my counseling. For all my advice. $1 a word. Nah, I'm only kidding. I did it all out of here. I do it again, too. Like I said, there's no hard feelings between us, not from my end, and I'm 99.9% sure, not from his end. Because like I told you, we spoke once. We're good. So, I do wear a diaper, Muse. Yes. Yes, I do. Oh yeah, Frank, we knew that. He used to tell me all the time, your content. So it's all good. We were see what you guys, and I'll say it again. What you guys didn't see was the stuff that went on off the air. Half the shit we were doing, we knew how to feed off each other, and we said if we fuck with each other, just play with it. And then when we got off, we laughed about it. We were like, look, they bought it. So, you know, you guys can think what you want. Someone sold and Scuffed, I'm being dead honest, bro. I told you, I doubt very much that he ever did that. And I know for a fact he never did it when I was around. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the first time I used his card, he had almost $1,000 in food stamps. If you got 900 and change in food stamps, and as I knew him longer and longer, the money didn't dwindle, it didn't go away. So, nah, he never did that. He doesn't have to. That's what you guys don't get. He's a good man. He really is. His intentions are good. But how we do things are different sometimes. You know, hey, Relentless, what's up, baby? Hi. There's my girl. I didn't start to read yet because we've been bullshitting, so glad you're here. I know you pay attention when I read. That's for damn sure. We're going to start with our prayer, as always. That's first. Relentless, glad you're here. Before I read, we go to our daily prayer. Everyone has to be quiet. Pay attention. How is he? Because, Frank, here's what happens. Before I read the prayer. I know a lot of people that used to do this who did sell food stamps back in New York years ago. What you do is you don't spend them. They don't shut you off unless you go like 6 months or 8 months, I think it is, in New York anyway, without spending them. So it's not hard to accrue that. Plus, half the time you guys were buying him meals. So why the fuck did he have to spend the money? And he's frugal. Or cheap, however you want to look at it. And he doesn't like to spend money. So it's easy to save that kind of money when you get $300 a month. It's only 3 months worth of food stamps. That's what I get, $290 something, $280 something. Nothing's broke. Yeah, at one point. I don't know what he has now. It was like a few months ago. But yeah. And then when I would go to the store and he'd give me his card and he'd buy me food and I bought him food, I could see what's left on the card, and he never sold nothing. He's not that kind of guy. Wow. I don't know about 1G now, but I wouldn't doubt it. Sooner or later, they shut you off, though, if you don't spend it. He might. Good for him if he does. Right. Let's have lobster steak by the church. Let's go clean the pots and pans with the swamp water. All right, here we go. Enough about my boy KLP. Again, I'm just gonna say, he never did nothing wrong with me except for that day. And other than that, it was stupid. So, we good, me and him. We good, me and you. He's not allowed on here, not because I'm mad at him, because he has nothing good to input, and I don't follow him, so let's go, baby. Here we go. That was the KOP segment for the day. Yes, thank you, Frank. All right, May 1st. I would like to wait till they stop doing that, but they're not going to. May 1st is from Matthew 2012. I read it earlier, and hopefully it's good for somebody out there today. These men who were hired last worked only 1 hour, and yet you have rewarded them on the same level as us who have borne the greatest portion of the work. Basically, in Matthew 2012, they're saying, why should they get the same pay as me if I'm doing more of the work? The reflection is, our sense of pride and justice would never accept that type of treatment. We must allow God to heal our pride and jealousy, and to be grateful and accept his generosity for what we have received. Amen. The prayer is, heal me, O Lord. of wanting more than I need, of being jealous of others, their gifts, or their good fortunes. Give me a heart of prayer for all blessings for myself and for others. Glory to God in the highest. Gotta love it. You gotta love it. I want to show you guys a picture. I was rummaging through. I think I showed it in the last time I did the... I'm supposed to be dramatic, dude. That's how you make your point. And you make people feel something. I used to... When I was young, I was able to put my foot behind my head. No, I couldn't eat my own penis, but I could put my foot behind my head. So I used to bite my nails once in a while, and my father seen me do this one day. I was about 10, 9, and he says to me, "Get on the couch." And he jumps on the couch, takes off his shoes and socks, if he was wearing them, I don't remember. But we're sitting there, and this is the picture he makes me take. Just for you to get a better idea of who my father was, how funny and sarcastic and loved to make jokes and goof. This is what he made me do. That's the picture he took. In the chapter head read, the chapter I read that says head, attempted head. Okay. Tell him to stop. Stranger danger. Stranger danger. All right. This thing going on over here today. All right. I'm going right. I don't know. This thing's going to annoy the shit. Can you guys hear that? Is that thing going over my speaking? Step in line. No, I couldn't. I couldn't reach. Then deal with it, scuffed. I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to touch, chat, chew. Look. Chat, 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 chat. Oops. Touch, touch, touch. All right, here we go. Chapter 19. Friend, not father. A little bit is repetitious, but I'll take care of that in here. Here we go. Oh, let me recap. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad. I didn't recap. You got to recap to where we are. The recap is, Dad just showed me how to finally touch a titty. My first titty ever. And then we learned how Mom busted me smoking cigarettes for the first time. And that's pretty much where we are. I'm in 8th grade at this point in time, unless I say different. Here we go. This was the start of our friendship, me and Dad. Because, like I said before, we were more like friends than father and son. Dad and I would have quite a few adventures over the next few years. Though the years didn't span the amount of time I would have liked, we sure as hell did have a lot of fun. One weekend over the summer, I must have been about 11 or 12. I was at Graham's, and Dad's waiting for me downstairs. I'm not there 10 minutes while talking to my grandmother, and at the kitchen table, Dad yells up, "Come on, horse, let's go to the beach." Naturally, I immediately say goodbye to Graham and Gramps and take off down the stairs. Just to let you know, I really didn't like the beach. I'd rather just go to Coney Island and play pinball. Anyway, we're heading to Coney Island to the beach. Dad did not have a car, so we used to take the train to Coney Island. It was the last stop on what used to be called the B train. It took us 5 minutes to walk to the train, and once on the train, it was 3 stops. It usually took about 15 to 20 minutes, and we were there. As we are walking, strutting as usual, to the train, we are just bullshitting about school and sports. Dad, in stride, says to me, "Hey, horse, maybe we will get lucky and pick up a mother and daughter team at the beach." I thought this was hysterical. I figured that was his way of getting me to go to the beach without me complaining, because I'd rather be playing pinball, like I said. And like I said, I really didn't like the beach that much, and he knew it. I would rather also been at Shady Park and let him throw me some of the pitches that he used to do, so I could smack the ball all over the field. Shady Park was mainly a huge baseball field. I loved watching him run around the park chasing those balls. Shady Park had 2 baseball fields opposite across each other. Dad used to throw fastballs, change-ups, curveballs that moved nicely, and a slider that dipped. Like I said, I would smack it all over. Left, right, center. It seemed like there were baseballs everywhere. We did this when I was between the ages of 9 to 12. He was always amazed when I was hitting whatever he threw. I don't think that he was acting like that because I was his son. He was genuinely amazed. To some degree, so was I. But when it came to baseball, I knew I was really, really good. Other kids my age would come in the park and ask me if they could play, and ask us if they could play with us. Dad always said yes. Thinking back, I think Dad wanted kids to play with us just so he wouldn't have to chase the balls around. When they would be at bat, Dad would pitch to them the same speed as he pitched to me. Majority of the time, even though these kids were older, they couldn't touch the ball, and they would ask him to pitch slower. When my turn came to bat again, he'd go right back to pitching faster. The other kids were pretty amazed that I hit the ball also. I was always smaller than everybody else, as I have already said. I repeat that a lot because I realized as I got older, that shit really bothered the crap out of me. Give me 2 minutes, guys. I gotta take this. I apologize about that. Here we go. Like I said, as I got older, I realized it really bothered me a lot that I was small. Getting back to that day at the beach, after I stopped laughing, Dad says to me, "What's so funny?" I was serious. "Let's find a mother-daughter team and team up." Realizing that, oh shit, he was serious. I said, "Really?" He replied, "Yeah, really. Why? You don't like girls? What are you, my little sissy boy?" And he starts laughing. You never know when to take him serious. Oh wait, or is that me? So, I changed my tune quickly. I stuck out my chest and said, "Let's go do it." And we were off. On the train, in our car, was Dad, a woman, and some guy sitting to the left across from us reading a newspaper. Oh yeah, there is this huge moth flying around in the car. It lands right next to me on the seat. I try to hit it with my hand, but I missed. It flies away. Now I'm watching it fly around. Nobody else except Dad is paying attention. Well, there's only 2 people on the train. Train stops. First stop. The woman gets off the train. No one gets on. Only 2 stops to go. In between stops, the moth taunts me, flying directly at my face. I jump off the seat and I try to retaliate, but the moth flies away again. Now I'm steaming. This moth wants war. It's war. Dad is sitting there laughing and shaking his head. The guy reading the newspaper hasn't budged. He's not paying attention to what is going on. Train stops. Stop 2. No one gets on. No one gets off. Next stop, Coney Island. As the train starts to roll, I notice on the seat on the right, before where the moth is, now, there's a newspaper. Yes, the perfect weapon for hunting moth. We are now almost at our destination. Time is running out. I think to myself, okay, time to make my move, and I have to kill him before the train stops. So I start walking toward the newspaper. Yes, I got it. I roll it up, and I prepare it for the slow death blow. But no, the moth senses that I'm on the attack. He flies toward the other end of the car, to the left. I have to act quickly. We are pulling into the stop. What is this? The moth has taken sanctuary on the window, behind the man reading the newspaper. The man is still oblivious about the situation. He doesn't realize there's a war going on right now. Dad, who has this big shit-eating grin on his face, has been watching and laughing the whole time. And he looks at me, and I at him, about this predicament. He knows what I'm thinking. So he looks, shrugs his shoulders, and says, "It's up to you, horse." Now, that moth is in perfect position, but he's behind the guy. Well, in the blink of an eye, I take 3 steps, reach behind the man with the newspaper, rear back, boom! Smack! I got him. The man with the newspaper is so shocked by the bang of the death blow that he jumps off his seat and hits his head on the pole you hold on to in the train. His newspaper goes flying. Dad, hysterical laughing. The guy, not so much. He was mad. Train stops. We all get off. Dad says to me, "Horse, sometimes you're crazy." The guy just walks away, never said a word. Off to the beach. After getting off the train, and I walked the 3 blocks, and then we went over the boardwalk to be standing on the edge of the sand. We got to the beach. Yippee! I figured Dad wasn't really going to look for a mother-daughter team. But, true to his word, Dad was looking for a mother-daughter team. While we are walking on the sand, by now we're 15 feet away from the water, Dad sees a woman. She is very pretty, about his age. And bam! Like a scene from a movie, she's with a girl about my age. We strut over, we don't walk, right to where they're sitting. They are both on a beach towel that says, "I love New York." Now I have no clue what to say. Dad says hello, and I manage a squeaky, "Hi." Pretty much what I sounded like back then. They respond with a polite hello. Stuck for words, the girl and I look at Dad and this woman. Dad then asks, "So, what are your names?" They tell us their names. I have no clue what their names were then. I have no clue what their names are now. Then the woman asks, "And what is your names?" General information, both our names are Ronnie. Dad, quick on his feet that he is, tells the woman, "My name is Ronnie, and this is my brother, Ronnie." In my head, I'm saying to myself, he really is nuts. Then, without giving the woman or the little girl a chance to respond to what he had just said, he continues. Our mother had an infatuation with the name Ronald. We even have a sister named Veronica. We call her Ronnie for short. And I thought to myself, damn, that Dad is good. The fact that he said that we are brothers, okay, here we go. As the woman, I thought to myself, how is Dad ever going to get out of this one? As soon as the woman asked, Dad, without hesitation, said, "Oh, I got the wrong page here." Well, what ends up happening is Dad ends up getting, I fucked up again with the fucking pages, and I read it before. Sorry. What happens is, we end up leaving those 2 women. Dad gets our phone number. We end up going back home. I don't get any number. I guess my high wasn't as impressive as his conversation. And later that night, after we go home 2, 3 in the morning. He ends up going to meet the woman about 3 in the morning. So that was Dad. We're running up on chapter 20. I'll take a quick break. Yeah, it was pretty funny. If you can picture what went on, it was hysterical. Boom, boom, boom. All right, I'm not going all the way back there for nothing. Relentless, did you see the pewter shark skin suit I put Ron in with the crimson matching necktie? It's hysterical. You got to see it, Relentless. It's posted everywhere. I posted it on my thing. Frank's got it on his. I got it on TikTok. I got it on Instagram. I killed the moth. Red, you weren't paying attention. Anja, you're going to have to go back and watch the video because I explained that already. So, unless somebody else wants to explain it to you, we're moving on. Oh, the picture looks great. Yeah, I killed him, bro. The best part wasn't the killing. The best part was the fucking guy throwing his newspaper, getting scared shit, and my father hysterical laughing. Tell him, RZA. Pay attention, Red. Fuckface. All right. Here comes, the next chapter is chapter 20. And by the name of it, it's called High School. Now, you people think high school means high school. No. Ron didn't go to high school. I went to high school, man. Here we go. Shut the fuck up, everyone. Yeah, Red, blame them, Red. Yeah, good point. Way to go. Yeah, everybody better shut the fuck up and leave Red so he can hear what I'm saying. I love you guys. You like Swiss cheese the best. How about Swiss teeth? Here we go. High school. Which means, obviously, because you get out of Catholic school in 8th grade. So I was 13 when I started high school, probably in September. I might have even just turned 14. I would have graduated in 82. No, in 80, I think. No, 82. Whatever. Class of 84? Who the fuck knows? Anyway, high school. Here we go. Let me get a drink first. Thank everybody who's hanging out. I hope you're liking the story. Subscribe if you don't want to miss any of it. I don't see any of my people writing that shit in there. Damn it. All right. Here we go. Life at home wasn't that bad, even with all the ups and downs that I spoke of earlier. Mostly money problems. We were cruising down life's streets as a family. After I graduated St. Mary's, I was accepted into one of the better Catholic high schools in Brooklyn. Probably in all of New York. The name of it was Bishop Ford High School. I found out sometime later that I didn't get a high enough score on the entry exam to get into Ford. The fact is, I fell about 5 points shy, 5 or 8 points shy of what you needed to get into the school. What happened was, the coach of my Gil Hodges All-Star team was also the varsity coach of Bishop Ford's varsity baseball team. He had spoken with Mom and Duck before I ever even took the test. Before I was even on the All-Star team. He had told them that if my scores weren't good enough, as long as they were close, he would get me into school. He also told them that I was going to be the first to start on the varsity squad ever. Well, high school for me really was high school. Not so much school. It was just high. Bishop Ford. Well, that turned out to be a waste of time. At the time I started, I was enrolled in school, never really got started. My freshman year, I was engulfed in being so pilled out that I wasn't even coherent within 2 months of being in the school. What I mean was, I wasn't happy just getting high. I wanted to be so stoned that I didn't even know where I was or what I was doing. That's sad. I did not make a conscious decision to do that, but I always ended up that way. I was an extremist to the extreme. I used to get up every morning, put on my slacks, jeans, whatever they're called, a colored shirt. I always liked plain shirts, and I still do. Have breakfast, put on whatever was needed to stay warm outside, say goodbye to mom, take my usual $5 or $10 for lunch. That 5 or 10 usually magically would turn into weed. Get on the train and take a 30-minute ride. When I reached the train station that was closest to Bishop Ford, I'd exit the train, and the train station, obviously. Then I would walk one extremely long block. In the winter, it felt like a half a mile easy. It was about 2.5 regular city blocks long, actually, and reach Ford. This is the start of my freshman year, so it's September at this time. It's starting to get cold, and only going to get colder. When you got to Ford from the direction I came from, you could either walk across the schoolyard or go halfway down the block and go directly into the school by bypassing the schoolyard. I never bypassed the schoolyard. Not once. I only made it across the schoolyard and into the school itself one time. In one corner of the yard, there was an iron staircase. The building was 3 floors high, and that went up to the 3rd floor of the school. It probably was a fire exit. I say that probably because I never seen anyone ever go in or out the door. Once I was in the yard, I headed straight for the staircase from day one. That's where I went when I went to school. I started out on about the 3rd or 4th step, and within a week, I moved up to the top. I do not remember the exact reason, but I did attend one class one day. It was a social studies class, and the teacher's name was Mr. Manley, Manley. I remember his name because of 2 things. One was that he was able to keep my interest for the entire period that I was there. He was showing the class the proper way to read the New York Times. He was making us laugh and making it interesting. The other reason was, obviously, his name. How can you forget a name like Manley? In my neighborhood, everyone wanted to be a manly man. In the beginning of my freshman year, from the day when I went there, I sold marijuana in the yard, at the top of those stairs, and at the bottom when I first got there, but nobody knew for 2 weeks, and that's probably why I moved to the top. Mostly I was eating them. Within about 2 months, I was selling pills also. Mostly, I was eating them. Quaaludes, as you know, was my pill of choice. My morning consisted of taking a couple of Quaaludes. This is about 2 months into me being in Ford. Well, I should say in the schoolyard at Ford. I would take a couple of Quaaludes, if I had some, when I reached school. I would keep myself busy reading a newspaper, drinking a hot chocolate, or maybe just bullshitting with one of the other students. Probably about nothing important. After about 40 minutes, the pills start to take effect. I spent my time there in the schoolyard, at the top of the stairs that led to a short roof, which was part of the school, obviously. I would sit on my staircase, usually freezing my ass off, until sometime around lunch. I did meet a few people while I was there. Mostly it was just other kids who could tell I was high, and they would ask if I had anything to sell. So I sold a few pills here, and I sold some pot there, and I made a few dollars. Sometimes I'd sell them weed, all the time, I would smoke weed. Weed was always a constant, and still is. I didn't even consider it to be a drug, and still don't. Most of the time, I was on the stairs, I couldn't keep my eyes open. And sometimes, I would nod out for minutes or hours. I never knew which. When I woke up from nodding out, or it just got too damn cold to sit there anymore, I would leave, get back on the train, and go back to my neighborhood. Depending on how early or late it was, is when I left the yard, would determine where I would go from here. My choices at the time were, if it was after 8 a.m. and before 11 a.m., I could go for breakfast at Graham's house. Or if it was, again, after 8 but before 12, I could go to my friend Lenny's house. For those of you that have cut school, Lenny's is the place where about 5 of us friends could go when cutting. Everyone who cuts out has a place like this at some point. His dad had left years ago, and his mom went to work at 8. Most cutters have that one friend's house that they could go crash at. We could get there after 8:30 and hang out and get high all day long. If it was afternoon, I was going to OTB, off-track betting. Hanging out there and trying to pick a few winners in the horses with the $5 mom gave me. If I didn't spend it on weed already, I really liked betting horses. It was exciting. Mainly when you won. Not so much when you lost. I was at OTB so much that the tellers, the people that sell the tickets, knew my name, and after a while, they started taking my bets. You were supposed to be 18 years old to place a bet. In the beginning, I used to get one of the old men in the OTB to place the bet for me. Sometimes I would ask one of the older guys I knew. Either way, I would get action. The tellers and the manager eventually just let me put the bets in by myself. They knew that either way, I was going to get the bet in. Thus began my many years of gambling on horses. This was a defining moment in my life. Although there are a few other defining moments, this defining moment, I believe, stands higher in rank than the others because it affected my entire adolescence. If you take a second or two and think back, I'm sure you have a few defining moments in your life. Sometimes when you realize why you do and say certain things in certain situations, it helps you to make a good decision. I found out for me that when reflecting back, there seems to always be a connection to those moments. Sometimes, depending on what has happened, if we pause before we act, we usually do not do what our first instinct tells us to do. I have found out that I can make situations in life simpler just by pausing a second. And I've said this before, and I'll probably say it again. In that second, you will find that moment, and you will deal with the situation in a proper manner. At a later time, could be a day, could be 10 years, you will have something happen that triggers that moment, and you will have an amazing feeling of gratification, knowing you understand why you were about to be or act the way you were going to do. And that's chapter 20. And I'm sweating like a pig. Let me just add this because I didn't put this in there. One of the worst things that happened with me and gambling on horses was I was pretty good at it. And when my mother would give me that $5 in the morning, usually it was 5, not 10, but once in a while I could squeeze a couple of dollars out of her. When she used to give me that, I'd go to OTB, and for 75 cents or 50 cents in the beginning, whatever it was, I'd buy a little OTB program, and I would study the horses. And with the other $4, I'd put in two $2 doubles. And unfortunately, I used to win a lot. So for the $2 or $4 I bet, I would usually win anywhere from 20 to 400. And I got so good at it that I used to, instead of buying weed in the morning, I stopped. I would save that $5 or $10 for the horses because usually I would win. I'd say I was hitting that back at that point 4 out of 7 days a week. I was hitting the early double or at least an exacta early, and I'd make money. And I would go buy real drugs, Quaaludes and Coke and whatever else I could do. But yeah, and I think that had a big part to why I ended up the way I was. I love betting on sports. I had a very bad gambling problem when I got older. When book 2 comes out, you'll find out how bad it was. It was bad. I owed thousands everywhere at different points in my life. Yeah, a lot of people looking for Ron. But we'll get to that in book 2. That's nice, RZA. Nice. The best I ever did, I turned $24 into $5,000. I was in Atlantic City with my friend Lloyd, and I bet a superfecta on the harness horses, the ones where they sit in the carriage. And it's called standard breds. And I boxed 4 horses for $1, which means you win half of whatever it pays. And it paid $10,000. So for $24, I got back $5 grand. That's the best I ever did. You definitely could, RZA. Matter of fact, if you pay me enough, I'll give you a private screening. I won't even write it. I'll just tell you my whole life story from age 20. We stopped book 1 at 20. From 20 to now. You will be entertained. Wow, it's 10 to 3 already? Shit, I'm not going to make it as far as I wanted to today. I wanted to get to 22. We're not going to make it. I'm going to do one more quick one. This chapter has 2 pages. It's really fast. Let me bang this out, then we'll bullshit. So chapter 22 will have to be tomorrow. Let me put this here so I don't get all screwed up. I wanted to hit 22 today, but all right, we won't. Here we go. Chapter 21. The name of it is Tough Guy with a question mark. 2 pages, that's it. Later in life, I come to realize one of my biggest mistakes growing up was, as I'm sure that many of you reading this, well, listening to this, did. I never talked about how I felt. And I'm talking about raw emotions. Not, I feel good today, Frankie, hey, Tony, hey, Joey, hey, Sally, hey, Barbara. Woo, I got dizzy. Back then, the difference between me and most other people was the way I handled my pent-up emotions. When I was feeling hurt, I would get angry. When I was sad, I would get angry. Sometimes, even when I was happy, I would get angry. Nah. I would get high when I was happy, when I was sad, and when I was angry, no matter what emotion I was in. Anyway, it would usually take time before I got really angry. I used to give people 1 chance, 2 chances. By the 3rd time, you pissed me off if you didn't touch me already, then I hit you. But I give you 3 shots. By the 3rd shot, I lose my mind. And that was the bad thing. I should have said something the first time. It usually doesn't get to that point. How I released my anger was, I used to do this I don't know if I put it here, so I'm going to tell you. If I would get mad at my mother, my girlfriend, or anybody in my house or somewhere else, and I would go to look to take out my anger, and this is how I did it. I would walk down the street and look for the first person who looked at me or did not move out of my way, and I would basically yell in a deep voice something to the effect of, "The fuck are you looking at?" Or, "What the fuck is your problem?" Most times, if they did not just ignore me or look at me quickly and then turn away and walk away, I'd hit them. Then I'd hit them again. By this point, I brought myself to a boiling point. Usually I would stop after 1 or 2. I'd have fury in my eyes, and I would say something like, "Get the fuck out of here before I really hurt you." I would say 95% of the time, they were in such shock because they didn't see it coming. that they would not do a damn thing except walk away. The sad part of it was, afterward, I would feel light as a feather, as if 2,000-pound weight was lifted off my shoulders. The anger has subsided, and the reason I was upset most times was in the past, and not to be thought of again, until the need for fury was at hand. I realize now that I never took that pause. I never responded correctly. I needed someone to speak to. Or another way to release my anger. I probably could have gone to my father because he was so cool. He was cool as 4-day-old shit. I didn't because, like I said before, we were more friends than father and son. And that's 21. And we're going to cap off on 21 for today. Yeah, I sucker punched everybody back. I didn't really sucker punch them. I would warn you first. But then I would hit you without saying, I'm going to hit you. Yeah. You got to also remember, I was fucking, this is 13 years old. I don't even think I was 5 feet tall. I was 100 pounds, 110 tops, maybe. That was a douchebag. Come on. I'm not denying it. But that's how I released my anger. I didn't fuck around. It was stupid. It was dumb. It was childish. Yes, all of the above. I was in Fight Club, RZA. I'd fight with anybody that wanted to fight with me. I didn't give a fuck. But here's the sad thing. I'm going to give you a story I don't have in the book. One day I'm in a bad mood. And there's this kid I know. He was about the same size as me. Skinny, small. And he came down the block and he said something to me. I don't remember what it was, but I was already in a bad mood. So we're on the corner of Bay 31st, which is a block from Bay Parkway on 86th Street. And I'm going to stand up to show you how this went down. What happened was, he said something, I yelled at him, and he came at me like he wanted to fight, and he threw a punch. I moved back, and I beat him up. I mean, I hit him with about 5-6 shots, threw him on the floor, and told him to go home. Well, he went home, and he got his older brother, who I knew from the neighborhood, but wasn't friends with. His brother had to be about 7 years older than us. They come back. Now, mind you, remember what I just wrote? I was angry before I fought with him. After we fought, I wasn't angry no more. I didn't want to fight no more. But 10 minutes later, him and his brother come back because they only lived around the block. And the brother says, I want you to fight my brother right now in front of me. I'm like, I'm so... All I did was, from Bay 31st to Bay Parkway, we started on the corner because that's where I was standing when they got there. And I went like this. And as the kids would walk towards me, I'd hit them with about 13 jabs. I'd hit them and step back. I'd hit them and step back. And I did that from one corner to the next. And all the while, as I'm stepping back, I'm telling his brother, do I really got to beat him up again? Come on, don't make me do this. And I wasn't mad, so I didn't want to fight. I couldn't hit the kid. I wasn't in a bad mood anymore. And eventually we reached Bay Parkway, and I gave him 2 quick jabs, and I looked at the older brother, and I said, come on, this is stupid at this point. And he was like, he looked at his brother, he said, are you done? His brother said, yeah. And they left. And I ended up becoming friendly with the older brother and him after that. But my point being about the feathery thing, if that kid would have came back with any type of, because he was scared. He didn't want to fight me again. I just beat the shit out of him. But if he would have came back with any type of strong, I don't know if I would have got up the anger again, which is weird, but weird to say because I usually can do it. But like I said, after I used to hit people, I'd be like, wow, yay me, I'm great. So just to go along with that. Hey, thanks everybody for being here. I'm not shutting down right yet. But it's coming up on that time in about 10 minutes or so. So, hope you enjoyed today's readings. Anybody new that watches this later, please leave me comments. Subscribe so you don't miss any chapters. Like I said, all you gotta do is listen to 1 or 2 and you'll be hooked. So, my opinion anyway. Yeah, I wasn't a nice guy, RZA. I'm not proud of it. but it's a fact. Thank you, Rizza. Appreciate it. I got my buddy coming home soon. I don't know what he wants to do today. We've been playing basketball every day. Well, I do the best I can. I'm still pretty good. A lot of pain, though. Just so everybody knows, I don't know how long the stream will be tonight, but I am going to be streaming. I'm going in a 9 o'clock tournament again. This one's for 1,500 top prize pool. It'll be 9 o'clock. It starts. I'll probably be on right before that. So, because I got to set up the screen and everything. I'm going to let you guys watch the cards coming out. And we'll do like yesterday. Anybody wants to chill. 22 will be tomorrow. I can't do it today. It's 3 o'clock already. I got to be off this thing in like 5-10 minutes because my grandson comes home about 3:15, 3:30, depending on how fast my daughter gets back. And I go hang out with him. So I'm not back until tonight. Maybe, definitely tonight because I'm definitely going in this tournament. So nice and early, 9 o'clock instead of 11 like yesterday. Thanks, Rizza. Appreciate it. Hey, you guys have the great rest of your day. God bless everybody. Please, criticisms. I keep saying it. I need them. I need to know what's missing in the book. I need to know what you like and don't like. Maybe what stories I should cut down or maybe build up more, or if I'm missing anything in between, which is a lot is missing, but I'm more than... Hey, Beth. Sorry, I wish I could start at 3 o'clock for you, Beth. But I can't. I feel terrible. I know you asked me once before. I can't do it. Because my grandson comes home 3:15, 3:30, and I have to cut it off then, so. But thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up. Hopefully you get the recap and you're all caught up. Like I was just telling everybody else, Beth, leave me criticisms, comments, what you think is missing. Working, lurking. It's all good. Thank you. I'd rather you be lurking than working. As long as you're getting paid. It's all good. So, yes, ma'am. I hope you're having a blessed day. I wake up in the morning and I'm in a lot of pain. I take my meds. And by this time in the afternoon, I can't wait for the fucking nighttime to come. It's terrible. All you young people out there, don't grow old. Don't do it. Always get a second opinion on operations. All my operations have dragged me down, man. I think if I never had operations, I'd be in so much fucking... what shape I'd be in at 60. But life is what it is. Scuffy! Yeah, I'll give you guys a few minutes to say hello to each other. I'm dripping out here. Let me get everything together to put it away. Hey, Beth, if you get a chance, you'll appreciate... Hey, you might not like it. I didn't like it too much, but I wrote something to my mom. I read it earlier, so if you get a chance, go back. It's from when I was upstate in the program from 1987. I even put the time, 6:30 p.m. 5/7/87. I wrote it to her for Mother's Day. Maybe you get a chance to listen to it. Let me get your opinion on it. Appreciate. I deeply appreciate the love that you have for me. Thanks, Beth. Appreciate it. You having a burger night? I just found out we're getting pizza. Peanut butter whiskey. I have had that maybe like 4 times. We bought the bottle. I'm a shining star, baby. When I get teeth, it'll be over the top. Scuff Frank and Hot Dog Frank are my favorite Franks. Well, let me rephrase that. Nathan's is my favorite Frank, the original. Sorry, Scuffed. I love you guys the same. You guys mean as much the same. You guys are both on the same level to me. And that's up here. So, that's not the quote, I know. I'm sorry. You want me to be a liar? You want me to lie about where I feel? I don't lie. Yeah, to me, you may not be on the same level, but to me, you guys are up there. You are all up here. There's not many people that come on here that are down here. No, I ain't getting white teeth. No, they gotta be a little off white. Len too, she's up there. You guys know who you are. Beth is up there. There's a certain group, you guys. You know who you are. Lisa, all you guys that are here now. Who's missing right now? Red. I love you guys. All of you. Red, Alta. You guys, to me, we have... The one thing I never understood is, see, when you were on KOP's thing and I was over there, the way you are here, this is what I expected. Not that. Honing is all right. I love everybody, man. The only one that tries to get on my nerves and he can't do it, or she can, I'm not even sure, the Muse. Spewing bullshit. I'm not a sucker. I ain't stupid. Love them all, baby. What's up, Honing? Honging, I'm sorry. I always call you Honing. The Muse is a guy. That's what I thought. But I don't want to, Nowadays, you got to call people them. Less than 10, Beth? Then, Beth, if I know you as well as I think I do, you don't really give a shit if they like you or not. And that's a great thing. That's an awesome thing. Oh, I don't buy into that they-them shit. There's two genders. You're either a guy or a girl. Let me see your birth certificate. People can disagree with me. That's my opinion. And that's a fact. So, they're assholes. You tell them, Beck. I don't know who you're talking about, but get them. Fuck that they-them shit. It's like the alphabet. When people throw letters at me, I answer them with A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's my favorite letters. Anxie, what's up? Hopefully by next month, not next month, probably 2 months from now, I'll be in my own place and then I can do this shit whenever I want. Hey, Anxie, what's going on? Listen, guys, don't start a conversation that you can't finish quickly because it's 3:05 and I'm cutting off. So I don't want you guys to be in the middle of discussing something and I shut you down. I got 4 more minutes and I'm off. So if you want to try to get in that conversation, go right ahead. Have fun. I can't, Scuffed. I'll be back on tonight at 9 for my tournament. I can't do it now. My grandson is more important than anyone. Red. You know the deal, Red. Tell them. Who's number one, Red? Who comes first, Red? Tell them. Who comes always the main... What? Come on, Red. I'm waiting. I'm not hanging up. I'm not signing off until you tell them, Red. What's my number one priority? What's on second? Come on, Red. Don't make me say it. You do. Red, did you just get married? I do. Yeah, do you know where tomorrow plays, Scuffed? No drinking. That's coffee, baby. I don't drink. I drank that night. You want to see me drink? Go watch that thing when I'm shooting pool on my birthday. Yeah, tonight I'll be on at 9, Frank. Scuffed. I'll probably be on before that, 1:45, somewhere around there. And tomorrow, I'm going to do a Kentucky Derby one. Possibly. What do you guys think of that? Real quick. I got 3 minutes left. Come on, I need to know. In the other one, I drank about 8 double shots of whiskey. By the end of the night, I'm getting very emotional, and they'll tell you, life sucks. I'm tired of life. I will do the Derby. Yes, Red, you got it, buddy. My grandson's going to sleep out tomorrow, so I got all day. But I definitely will do tomorrow, and I'm definitely doing tonight, because I'm definitely going to this tournament. Very good. Very good, Scuffed. I was waiting for the answer. And Red didn't answer my question, because he doesn't want me to sign off. But I'm not signing off yet. It's 3:08, 2 more minutes. Red didn't answer my question. Red, what's my number one priority, Red? I'm waiting 2 more minutes, Scuffed. That's it. You know the deal, buddy. I try to accommodate. That's right. You got it, Scuffed. Red, you're being an idiot now. That's right. Grandson, number one. There we go. Yeah, pizza tonight, yes. No beer. Nope. My grandson doesn't want to drink tonight. He packed off a 6-pack of Heineken the other day. He doesn't want to do it again. Funny shit. Nope. Can't do it, Scuff. Nice try, though. Gotta go. Nope. There's nothing more to say right now. I got a minute left. And nothing, my brain wasn't in that mode, so. You keep saying, wait, Frank. You got 1 more minute. It's 3:09. I got the clock right up here. Matter of fact, I'm going to go put my stuff inside. And by the time I come out, it'll be goodbye time. All right, guys. I'm out. See you later. See you tonight. Have a great day, guys.